Hello, Reds fans. Welcome to the YNWA Transfer News Channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for your daily latest news.
Transfer News Live, Liverpool deal done, Man United £100 million approach, Isak decision. The 2025-26 Premier League season is just 8 days away, and yet there is plenty of summer transfer activity to go. Liverpool's pursuit of Alexander Isak remains ongoing, but the Reds are also negotiating player sales with another big-name star set to leave in the next 24 hours. Meanwhile, Eddie Howe looks set to be hit by another transfer blow with Manchester United now favourites to sign Benjamin Sesko. Chelsea continue to do deals but are being made to wait by RB Leipzig over Xavi Simons. There is also concern at Arsenal with Victor Gyökeres failing to impress in his 2 preseason games so far. Rivals Tottenham are still searching for a replacement over James Maddison. Done deal. Burnley signed Dubravka. Burnley have announced the signing of Newcastle goalkeeper Martin Dubravka on a 1-year contract. It's turning into a busy day for the Clarets, after earlier confirming a completed deal for Leslie Ugachukwu. Elliott in talks with RB Leipzig. RB Leipzig are reportedly discussing contract terms with Harvey Elliott before they make a formal bid to Liverpool. According to reports in Germany, Jurgen Klopp, who now heads Red Bull's football department, is driving the move. He coached Elliott at Anfield and gave him his senior debut in 2020. Forest and Everton fight for Luiz. Nottingham Forest and Everton are both chasing a deal to sign Douglas Luiz from Juventus. According to Gazzetta dello Sport, Forest are in pole position as they favor a permanent transfer. Everton favors a loan deal with an obligation to buy. Newcastle make Isak decision. Newcastle are set to leave Alexander Isak out of their squad for the friendlies against Espanyol and Atletico Madrid this weekend. With speculation mounting around the star's future, Eddie Howe doesn't believe the Swedish striker is in the right frame of mind to play. He could now give a chance to 18-year-old Sean Neve. Mohamed Salah discovers Ballon d'Or fate as Liverpool up for 3 more awards. Liverpool forward Mohamed Salah has been named on the Ballon d'Or shortlist alongside Virgil van Dijk, Alexis Mac Allister and Florian Wirtz, though the eventual award winner will not be confirmed until later in the calendar year. The Reds have been put forward in the Men's Club of the Year category after winning the Premier League title, though PSG, as Champions League winners, and Chelsea, as Club World Cup winners, are likelier victors. Arne Slot, meanwhile, has been put up for the Men's Manager of the Year award, and Alisson Becker is on the nomination list for the Yashin Trophy. Manchester City midfielder Rodri was the last winner of the Ballon d'Or after he won the European Championship with Spain in 2024. He then missed the majority of last season due to an ACL injury. Full list of 30 Ballon d'Or nominees: Jude Bellingham, Ousmane Dembele, Gianluigi Donnarumma, Desire Doué, Denzel Dumfries, Serhou Guirassy, Victor Gyökeres, Erling Haaland, Achraf Hakimi, Harry Kane, Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, Robert Lewandowski, Alexis Mac Allister, Lautaro Martinez, Kylian Mbappe, Scott McTominay, Nuno Mendes, João Neves, Michael Olise, Cole Palmer, Pedri, Rafinha, Declan Rice, Fabian Ruiz, Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk, Vinicius Jr., Vitinha, Florian Wirtz and Lamine Yamal. The full list of Men's Club of the Year nominees is Liverpool, PSG, Chelsea, Barcelona and Botafogo. The Brazilian outfit is the current holder of the Copa Libertadores. The full list of Men's Manager of the Year nominees: Arne Slot, Enzo Maresca, Hansi Flick, Luis Enrique and Antonio Conte. Each of them won either the League or Champions League in Europe. The full list of Yashin Trophy nominees: Alisson, Liverpool, Emiliano Martinez, Aston Villa, Yassine Bounou, Al Hilal, Thibaut Courtois, Real Madrid. Gianluigi Donnarumma, PSG, Jan Oblak, Atletico Madrid, David Raya, Arsenal, Mats Sells, Nottingham Forest, Jan Sommer, Inter Milan, and Lucas Chevalier, Lille. The Ballon d'Or is an award by France Football, who spoke to Salah at the end of last season. "I didn't expect us to win so quickly," he said while discussing the impact of Slot, who took over from Jurgen Klopp. Who could have predicted that the transition would be successful so quickly? No one, I think. In pre-season, Arne came to see me and asked me to be an example for the other players. I told him not to worry because I'm always at my best, not to set an example, but because that's who I am. He told me what he expected of me in the game, with a lot of responsibilities in running, which I liked. Arne is very direct. Salah added. He re-established the competitive level, whereas with Jurgen, we were perhaps a little too much in our comfort zone towards the end. Arne and his staff are more open to discussion, to sharing feelings, and I think that was important in my performances. And above all, it led us to success. Darwin Nunez showed his true colors with trophy remark as Liverpool transfer exit looms. Liverpool striker Darwin Nunez has been given permission to travel to Saudi Arabia, where he will complete a $62 million, £46 million transfer move to Al Hilal. As a result, the Reds will need to sign another attacker before the window closes, even after the arrival of Hugo Ekitike. Newcastle and Sweden's superstar Alexander Isak, of course, is the dream target. Bringing an end to his 3-year tenure on Merseyside, though, how will Nunez be remembered at Liverpool? While he never quite lived up to the billing, and it is undoubtedly the right time to part ways, there were plenty of highs, his late brace off the bench at Newcastle arguably being the pinnacle. Liverpool could have sold Nunez to Saudi Arabia in the winter transfer window, but it was the right move to keep him. He scored 2 late goals at Brentford after that deal didn't happen and played his part in securing the Premier League title. Even when he wasn't playing well and scoring a bucketful of goals, he was still given the support of the fans. And having won the Premier League, the Carabao Cup and the Community Shield, he did win silverware. When I arrived at the training ground, I was really surprised to see the setup and the structure and all the trophies here. Nunez said in his introductory interview with official club channels in 2022. You can then imagine yourself winning more trophies, and then later on when you come here again and see the trophies on display, you can say, look, I was a part of that, I was there at that time, winning trophies. Quite obviously, the idea when Nunez came in for a then club record fee was that he would become the next focal point of the Liverpool attack. 3 years on, that simply hasn't happened. Earlier in 2025, he was criticized for his work rate by Arne Slot, who didn't hold back in his assessment of the player's efforts on the field. For the second time in a row I wasn't happy with his work effort, against Wolves and against Villa, the Dutchman said. I can't accept if a player doesn't give everything. That is clear. I can accept it once, but twice was a bit too much. That's why I addressed it. If you miss a chance, you need to be fighting for the team. I'm not saying he didn't do that at all, but it wasn't the usual Darwin, the one that is loved by the fans. That is mainly because he always works so hard. As he leaves for Saudi Arabia, the compilations of missed chances will no doubt circulate on social media. That he is heading for the Middle East rather than remaining in Europe, where the standard is higher, arguably tells its own story too. But while he has never quite lived up to his potential, Nunez did notch 64 goal contributions in 143 appearances for the Reds. To paint him as a flop is disingenuous, as the $62 million recouped from his sale would indicate. Liverpool's £87 million Alexander Isak alternative left Olivier Giroud flabbergasted by his attitude. Former Arsenal and Chelsea striker Olivier Giroud has praised the attitude of rumoured Liverpool target Bradley Barcola. With Liverpool's ongoing pursuit of Alexander Isak proving difficult, having already had a £110 million bid turned down, Reds boss Arne Slot will also be considering alternative options to strengthen his attack. Barcola, 22, signed for PSG in 2023 and bravely took on the daunting task of replacing his compatriot Kylian Mbappé, who departed for Real Madrid last summer, a challenge he didn't shy away from, despite constantly battling for a starting position under Luis Enrique. Barcola managed to score 21 goals and provide 19 assists in all competitions as PSG clinched both League One and the Champions League last season, after beating Liverpool in the round of 16. Speculation about a move for Barcola, as reported by French publication L'Equipe, may be premature, with Liverpool demonstrating in the past they won't quickly switch to secondary targets if they struggle to secure their first choice. There's no planned approach for him at present, and PSG don't seem willing to let him go this summer anyway. However, should Liverpool decide to pursue their interest in Barcola in the future, he could still cost them a hefty £87 million. Nonetheless, French legend Olivier Giroud has given the young player a glowing endorsement, commending his confidence after Barcola made a £43.5 million transfer to the French champions. "He's a shy guy in the dressing room," Giroud said in his column for L'Equipe in April 2024. "But he's very intelligent. You have some people who talk a lot. But the guy who is shy, they see everything, and afterwards if you give advice to that guy, he knows what he has to do. He has always been discreet off the field. He is someone who speaks little. What surprised me about him, and about today's young players, is how confident they are during their early training sessions. Especially him. From the start, he showed what he's capable of. You can see the potential. He still has room to grow, but he's already very skilled in dribbling and penetration." Liverpool's summer window has caused waves of excitement amongst fans so far, with big money signings Florian Wirtz and Hugo Ekitike already secured by the club. Yet there are some concerns over just how Slot will piece together his expensive jigsaw. While Isak represents a direct goal threat, Barcola predominantly plays on the left wing, making him not so much a like-for-like alternative. Yet the signing of Barcola would help Ekitike, who is expected to shift to the left should Isak arrive to play centrally. It appears that Barcola wouldn't be too daunted by having to form something of a utility man in attack either. Former Lyon assistant manager Frank Passy reiterated Giroud's observations about Barcola's quiet demeanor, yet he also notes the player's immense talent and flexibility. Former Lyon assistant manager Frank Passy reiterated Giroud's observations about Barcola's quiet demeanor, yet he also notes the player's immense talent and flexibility. "He's a shy guy in the dressing room. But he's very intelligent," Passy told The Athletic. "You have some people who talk a lot. But the guy who is shy, they see everything, and afterwards if you give advice to that guy, he knows what he has to do." Today, because he's full of confidence, he is able to do other things and showing all his skills when cutting inside. We see his ability in front of the near post. He can score goals, can cross, can play a key pass. He can do anything. With Darwin Nunez on the verge of a switch to Al Hilal, Luis Diaz having already made the move to Bayern Munich, and the tragic death of Diogo Jota, Liverpool find themselves in need of bolstering their attack. The Mirror report how the futures of Harvey Elliott and Federico Chiesa at Anfield remain uncertain, potentially leaving the Reds with just 3 senior forwards, Mo Salah, Cody Gakpo, and Ekitike. Moreover, there's speculation that the potential arrival of Barcola could hinder the progress of the promising 16-year-old Rion Gumaha, who also operates on the left flank, casting further doubt on the French star's likelihood of a Merseyside move this summer. Thanks for watching. Like and comment. Subscribe.